Hello everyone, hope you are having a wonderful and energetic day. Life can sometimes make us feel tired and stressed, right? Have you ever had days when things don't go as planned, or sometimes felt like difficulties and challenges keep coming and can't be avoided? But did you know that these challenges are actually opportunities for us to grow and find peace of mind? In today's video, we will explore something interesting about how to change our thinking, how to make difficulties no longer make us feel stressed, but instead become a part of helping us grow. Let's start this journey together. The power of positive thinking in Buddhism. Imagine a life where your thoughts shape your reality, where every moment is filled with positivity, purpose and deep peace. What if I told you that Buddhism teaches us to harness the power of positive thinking, not just as an abstract idea, but as a transformative practice that can change the way we live, think and feel every single day? In today's fast-paced world, we often find ourselves overwhelmed by stress, negativity and uncertainty. But what if you could break free from this cycle and cultivate an inner state of peace and contentment instead? Buddhism offers a timeless solution, guiding us to embrace the power of positive thinking to unlock true happiness. The first step toward a more peaceful, joyful life lies in understanding the true nature of positive thinking, according to Buddhist philosophy. It's not about forcing ourselves to be happy all the time or ignoring life's challenges. Instead, it's about training the mind to see reality clearly, without attachment, without aversion, and learning to cultivate joy, compassion, and resilience. By doing so, we can face life's inevitable ups and downs with a calm, serene mind. It's about seeing life through the lens of wisdom rather than reacting from a place of fear, anger, or frustration. The Buddha emphasized the importance of right thought, a central aspect of the Noble Eightfold Path, which directs our minds toward kindness, selflessness, and wisdom. By letting go of self-centered worries, we begin to see the world as a space full of interconnectedness and potential, rather than as a place full of threats and dangers. Now, you might wonder, how can we shift our minds in this way? The answer lies in mindfulness. Buddhism teaches us that mindfulness is the key to transforming our thoughts and emotions. Mindfulness, or sati, allows us to observe our mental patterns with awareness and clarity. By doing so, we can gently redirect our thoughts, moving away from negativity, worry, or fear, and instead focusing on thoughts that uplift and support us. Every time you catch yourself slipping into negativity, whether it's anger, self-doubt, or worry, mindfulness gives you the power to pause, observe, and choose a different response. It's like having a tool to break the cycle of automatic, reactive thoughts that so often drain us and hold us back from living fully. Another powerful tool for cultivating a positive mindset is loving kindness meditation, or This meditation practice helps train our minds to generate goodwill and compassion, not just for others but also for ourselves. We all have moments of self-criticism and doubt, but practicing self-compassion is key to building a stable, positive mind. The Dalai Lama once said, "If you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion." By making loving kindness and compassion a part of our daily practice, we open our hearts, not just to those we love, but also to those who challenge or frustrate us. When we let go of resentment, anger, and judgment, we free ourselves to experience a deeper sense of connection, peace, and lasting joy. At the heart of this practice is the understanding that everything is interconnected, and as we cultivate more kindness and compassion in our lives, we begin to see the world differently. Negative emotions like envy, jealousy, and resentment lose their grip on us when we embrace the Buddhist practice of mudita, sympathetic joy. Instead of feeling threatened or upset by others' success, we learn to celebrate it, recognizing that someone else's happiness does not diminish our own. This shift in perspective opens up a world of possibilities, as we learn to see happiness as an abundant resource, one that grows the more we share it. But none of this would be complete without understanding the law of impermanence, one of the most profound teachings of Buddhism. Impermanence, or anicca, teaches us that everything in life is constantly changing. This principle helps us accept the fleeting nature of life's experiences, both good and bad. By accepting impermanence, we learn to let go of attachments and to flow with life's natural rhythms, rather than resisting them. Whether it's a difficult moment, a loss, or a challenge, we know it will pass, and something new will emerge in its place. The most transformative aspect of Buddhism's teachings on positive thinking is that it's not just about thinking positively, it's about living positively. It's about making small, consistent changes every day, setting positive intentions, practicing gratitude, speaking with kindness, and choosing to focus on the present moment. Over time, these practices help to rewire our brains, cultivating a resilient, peaceful, and positive mindset that can withstand the trials of life. So if you're ready to embark on a journey of self-discovery and inner peace, consider how you can apply these teachings in your daily life. Every moment is an opportunity to practice mindfulness, kindness, and gratitude. By consciously choosing to see life through a positive lens, you can create a more fulfilling, joyful existence. And remember, it's not about avoiding challenges, it's about learning to respond with clarity, wisdom, and peace. If this content resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to continue exploring how to integrate Buddhist wisdom into your everyday life. Let's walk this path together. 2. Karma and mental conditioning. In our fast-paced world, we often find ourselves caught in cycles of stress, negativity, and endless distractions. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the weight of life's challenges, and sometimes it feels like there's no way to escape the constant pull of negativity. But what if I told you that the key to a happier, more peaceful life lies in something incredibly simple, something we already have within us? Buddhism teaches us that we have the power to transform our minds and create the reality we desire through the practice of positive thinking. This isn't about pretending that everything is perfect or ignoring life's challenges. It's about training our minds to see things clearly without attachment or aversion, and learning how to respond to life's difficulties with wisdom and compassion. The foundation of positive thinking in Buddhism is built on the understanding that our thoughts shape our reality. What we focus on, what we dwell on, and how we perceive the world determine how we experience it. Every thought we entertain plants a seed in our consciousness, which will eventually bear fruit in our actions and emotions. If we constantly focus on negativity, resentment, or fear, those emotions will become habitual. But if we make the conscious effort to cultivate gratitude, compassion, and wisdom, we can naturally incline our minds toward positivity. One of the most powerful practices Buddhism offers is mindfulness. Through mindfulness, or sati, we become aware of our mental patterns, allowing us to observe thoughts as they arise and let them go. Instead of reacting automatically, we can pause, observe, and choose a response that aligns with our inner peace. By staying present in the moment, we stop replaying past regrets or worrying about the future. Mindfulness brings us back to the here and now, giving us the space to experience life with greater clarity and tranquility. The Buddha taught that the mind is like the sky, and our thoughts are like passing clouds. Just as we don't hold on to clouds in the sky, we don't have to hold on to negative thoughts. By observing them without identifying with them, we free ourselves from their influence. This shift in perspective is one of the most profound teachings of Buddhism. When we stop identifying with our negative emotions, whether it's anxiety, anger, or self-doubt, we reduce their power over us, creating space for positivity to emerge. In addition to mindfulness, Buddhism emphasizes the importance of loving-kindness meditation, or metta. This meditation practice helps us cultivate goodwill, not just for others, but for ourselves as well. Many of us are our own harshest critics, but self-compassion is essential for building a stable and positive mind. By practicing loving kindness, we not only develop a deeper sense of peace within ourselves, but we also learn to respond to others with greater kindness and understanding. Compassion in Buddhism is about recognizing suffering without being overwhelmed by it. Instead of reacting with more anger or frustration, we respond with care and wisdom. Another powerful concept in Buddhism is the practice of mudita, sympathetic joy. Rather than feeling envious or resentful of others' success, mudita encourages us to rejoice in their happiness. This practice allows us to shift from a mindset of scarcity to one of abundance, where someone else's happiness doesn't take away from our own. By embracing mudita, we not only improve our relationships, but we also cultivate deeper inner peace and joy. As we navigate life, it's essential to remember that everything is impermanent. This understanding of impermanence, or anicca, helps us release attachments to people, experiences, and even emotions. When we cling to things, fearing their loss, we create unnecessary suffering. By accepting that change is inevitable, we can flow with life's natural rhythms and embrace each phase with grace. Every experience, whether joyful or painful, is a step on our path to growth. And it's through these experiences that we learn to cultivate true inner peace. So how do we apply these teachings in our everyday lives? It starts with small, intentional actions, setting positive intentions each morning, practicing mindfulness, choosing kind words, and cultivating gratitude. It's not about forcing positivity, but about shifting our mindset to one of clarity and calm. By consistently training our minds through these practices, we gradually transform our reality. We can create a life filled with peace, joy, and resilience, no matter what challenges come our way. If you're ready to begin this journey of transformation and discover the power of positive thinking in Buddhism, I invite you to take the first step today. By practicing mindfulness, compassion, and loving kindness, you can unlock the secrets to a more fulfilling life. And if this message resonates with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let's continue exploring and growing together as we cultivate the power of positive thinking and create a life of true inner peace. 3. Mindfulness and awareness. Have you ever wondered how much energy you've wasted in pointless arguments or conflicts that left you feeling drained and frustrated? It's easy to get caught up in the need to be right or to prove ourselves to others. But what if the greatest power you could wield isn't in fighting back, but in choosing not to react at all? This is the core of a life-changing concept that Buddhism teaches: the power of ignoring. In a world where everyone seems to have something to prove, it's all too easy to fall into the trap of reacting to every insult, criticism, or challenge that comes our way. From a young age, we're taught that if someone attacks us, we must defend ourselves. But what if instead of fighting back, we simply didn't respond? What if we saw these moments not as threats to our ego, but as opportunities to cultivate wisdom and peace? Buddhism teaches us that many of the conflicts we face arise from our ego. The ego seeks to defend itself, to be validated, to feel superior. But true strength comes from not needing validation at all. Imagine a situation where someone insults you, but instead of reacting, you smile and walk away. This doesn't mean you're weak or submissive. It means you've mastered the art of non-response. By choosing not to engage, you take away the power that others may have over you. Just like a river doesn't resist the rocks in its path but flows around them, we can choose to let go of the need to react and maintain our inner peace. When we stop reacting impulsively, we free ourselves from the emotional chaos that others try to drag us into. The art of ignoring isn't about indifference, it's about wisdom. It's about recognizing that not everything deserves your energy or attention. When you choose silence over engagement, you shift the power dynamic. Instead of letting others control your emotions, you regain control over your own mind. One of the most important things we learn through Buddhism is that many conflicts stem from unresolved emotion. People aren't always fighting with us, they're fighting with their own insecurities, frustrations or fears. So when someone argues or criticizes us, it's often more about their internal struggles than about us. When we engage with their negativity, we only fuel the fire. But by refusing to react, we break the cycle of conflict and allow the other person's anger or frustration to dissipate naturally. This doesn't mean we should avoid every conflict or never speak up. But Buddhism teaches us that before we speak or react, we should pause and ask ourselves, is this worth my energy? Is this a conversation that leads to growth, or is it just a battle for validation? By choosing not to react to unnecessary conflicts, we save our energy for the moments that truly matter. Whether it's a meaningful conversation, an opportunity to learn, or a moment to show kindness, these are the moments where our attention and energy should be focused. Imagine a life where you no longer waste your time defending yourself, proving your point, or engaging in battles that don't matter. Instead, you embrace the peace that comes from not being pulled into every drama. You stop letting the opinions of others determine your happiness. This is the power of non-response. By practicing the art of ignoring, you not only protect your peace, but also build emotional resilience. When you stop reacting to the negativity around you, you begin to create a space of tranquility that others can't disturb. Over time, this practice strengthens your mind and transforms your life. So the next time you're faced with a situation that triggers your need to react, take a moment to pause. Ask yourself if it's worth your peace. In many cases, the best response is no response at all. By mastering the art of non-response, you unlock a deeper sense of freedom and peace, one that comes from within, unaffected by the external chaos around you. If this concept resonates with you, I encourage you to try it out for yourself. Embrace the power of silence, choose peace over conflict, and watch as your life transforms. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment and share with someone who could benefit from this wisdom. And be sure to subscribe to continue exploring how we can cultivate a life of inner peace and strength through mindfulness and Buddhist teaching. 4. Compassion and loving kindness. Have you ever found yourself trapped in a never-ending cycle of conflict, feeling like your energy is being drained with every argument or disagreement? It's easy to get caught up in the need to be right, to defend yourself, or to prove your point. But what if I told you that the real power lies not in reacting to every provocation, but in choosing silence and non-engagement? This is the life-changing lesson Buddhism teaches us, the power of ignoring. From an early age, we're taught to fight back when someone challenges us or insults us. We're conditioned to believe that we need to defend ourselves, to argue to prove that we're right. But what if, instead of reacting with anger or frustration, we chose not to respond at all? What if, in those moments of tension, the most powerful thing we could do was remain calm and silent? This is the essence of the Buddhist practice of non-response. Buddhism teaches that most conflicts arise from our ego, the need to defend ourselves, to be validated or to feel superior. But real strength doesn't come from fighting back or proving ourselves. It comes from not needing validation in the first place. Imagine a situation where someone insults you, but instead of reacting, you simply smile and walk away. This doesn't mean you're weak or passive. It means you've chosen not to engage in the game of ego-driven conflict. You've chosen peace over the chaos of argument, and that decision holds far more power than any heated debate. The art of ignoring is not about indifference. It's about wisdom. It's about recognizing that not everything requires your energy or attention. People often try to provoke us, but when we choose not to react, we take away the power they have over us. It's like throwing a stone into a pond. The water ripples for a moment, but then it returns to stillness. In the same way, when we choose to remain calm and silent, we return to our inner peace, and the conflict naturally loses its power. One of the biggest lessons Buddhism teaches us is that many conflicts are not about truth or understanding, they are about ego. We argue not to understand, but to defend our identity, our beliefs, and our need to be right. But when we detach from that need for validation, we stop getting caught in these unnecessary battles. We start to recognize that most arguments are not about the issue at hand, but about the unresolved emotions within the people involved. By practicing non-response, we stop feeding the fire of conflict. When someone tries to provoke you instead of engaging, you choose to remain calm, to not let their negativity affect you. This doesn't mean we suppress our emotions or let people walk over us. It means we recognize when something isn't worth our time or energy and choose to disengage. The more we practice this, the more we begin to live a life where our peace is not dependent on the external world. Over time, you'll notice something incredible happening. People who used to provoke you will stop trying. Why? Because they realize they can't control your emotion. They can't manipulate you into reacting. You no longer engage in their emotional chaos, and because of that, your inner peace remains unshaken. So the next time you're faced with an argument or a provocation, pause. Ask yourself, is this really worth my energy? Will this discussion lead to growth? Or is it just an ego battle that will leave me feeling drained? In many cases, the best response is no response at all. By choosing silence, you're choosing wisdom, you're choosing peace over conflict. And that's where your true power lies. If you found this insight valuable, don't forget to like, share, and comment below. Let us know how you plan to incorporate the art of non-response into your own life. And be sure to subscribe for more content on how to cultivate a life of inner peace, wisdom, and strength. 5. Transforming negative thoughts. Have you ever found yourself endlessly reacting to situations, feeling drained and caught in cycles of conflict and frustration? It's so easy to get caught up in the drama of life, feeling the need to defend your position, argue your point, or prove you're right. But what if I told you that true strength isn't about reacting, but about choosing when not to respond? The secret to peace and emotional freedom lies in mastering the art of non-response. In a world where we're constantly told to assert ourselves and fight for what we believe in, the concept of ignoring or not reacting may seem counterintuitive. Yet, Buddhism teaches us that the key to inner peace and true strength often lies in silence. It's not about suppressing your feelings or letting people walk all over you. It's about being intentional with your energy. Often we react out of habit, out of ego, or even to get validation. But most conflicts aren't about the issue at hand. They're about emotional triggers, unresolved feelings, or the need to dominate the conversation. When we stop reacting to these triggers, we stop feeding the conflict. Buddhism teaches that our thoughts shape our reality. The need to argue, to defend, to win, these impulses stem from our ego, which always wants to be right, always wants to prove its worth. But real power comes from not needing to prove anything. Imagine the next time someone insults you, you simply smile and walk away. It may seem surprising, but this is the profound strength that comes from detachment. You refuse to play the ego-driven game of conflict. Instead, you choose peace. The art of ignoring isn't about being indifferent or weak. It's about wisdom. When you choose not to engage, you take back control. You refuse to give others the power to dictate your emotional state. Instead of responding to every slight or provocation, you remain calm, centered, and grounded in your inner peace. When you stop reacting, you let go of the need for validation or approval from others. This simple shift in mindset allows you to take control of your emotions and decisions. Most arguments are not about truth or understanding. They are about ego. People argue not to understand one another, but to defend their own identity and sense of superiority. When we stop identifying with our opinions and beliefs, we create space for growth and understanding. We realize that not everyone needs to agree with us for our opinions to be valid. And when we detach from the need to be right, we free ourselves from unnecessary emotional baggage. What happens when we choose not to react? We stop feeding the conflict. We stop adding fuel to the fire of negativity. People who once sought to provoke us start to lose interest, as they realize that their words no longer have power over us. In this space of silence and calm, we begin to attract a different kind of energy, one that aligns with peace, understanding, and wisdom. The more we practice non-reaction, the more we protect our peace. We start to see life differently, not as a battlefield where we must fight to defend our honor, but as a space where we can simply be. We begin to engage only in conversations that matter, that foster growth, and that contribute to mutual understanding. We learn to say no to conflicts that don't deserve our attention, and by doing so, we learn to embrace the quiet power of peace. If this resonates with you, I invite you to start practicing the art of non-response in your own life. The next time someone tries to provoke you, pause and ask yourself, does this really deserve my energy? Will this conversation lead to growth, or is it just feeding an unnecessary ego battle? When you begin to choose silence over conflict, you begin to reclaim your energy, your peace, and your power. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and comment below. Let us know how you plan to practice non-response in your life. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insights on how to cultivate inner peace, emotional freedom, and wisdom. Let's continue this journey together and unlock the power of silence and non-reaction. 6. Mudita, sympathetic joy. In today's fast-paced world, we're constantly bombarded by the opinions of others, societal pressures, and the overwhelming need to react to everything that comes our way. Whether it's a critical comment, a misunderstanding, or a situation that frustrates us, it's so easy to fall into the trap of defending ourselves or getting upset. But what if I told you that the key to true peace and emotional freedom lies in knowing when not to react? The art of not reacting is one of the most powerful tools for cultivating inner peace, and Buddhism has a deep understanding of how to master this skill. The fundamental truth is that our thoughts and emotions shape our reality. When we react impulsively, especially out of ego, frustration, or anger, we're feeding the cycle of negativity and letting it control us. But instead of giving in to every urge to respond or defend ourselves, Buddhism teaches us the power of non-response. It's not about avoiding conflict or being passive. It's about choosing to withhold your energy from situations that don't deserve it. Imagine the next time someone insults you, you choose to stay silent. Instead of lashing out, you simply walk away with your peace intact. It may feel counterintuitive, especially if you're used to defending yourself or proving a point. But that silence is where your true strength lies. By not reacting, you take back control of your emotions and prevent someone else from dictating your state of mind. It's not about indifference. It's a wise choice to preserve your energy and avoid unnecessary conflict. The truth is, most arguments aren't about truth or understanding. They're about validation. We argue to defend our egos, not because we genuinely seek a resolution. We feel the need to be right, to have our point of view recognized. But when we stop identifying with the need to be right, we free ourselves from the constant battle for validation. The moment we let go of the attachment to our opinions, we create space for calm, clarity, and understanding. Buddhism teaches us that attachment to thoughts, emotions, and even our identity leads to suffering. The more we attach to our views or our need to be understood, the more we suffer when others don't validate us. But when we detach from the need for approval, we stop being victims of external circumstances. We realize that we don't need to engage in every conflict, that not everything requires our attention or response. By practicing non-reaction, we give ourselves the gift of peace. We stop feeding the drama and start living in the present moment. When we choose not to engage, we also stop empowering others to manipulate us emotionally. The more we practice silence in the face of provocation, the more we strengthen our inner peace. And the beauty of this practice is that over time, we start to see a shift in our energy. People who used to provoke us lose interest because they realize they can no longer get a rise out of us. The true power of non-reaction is that it disarms negativity. Instead of getting sucked into someone else's emotional turmoil, we maintain our calm. We are no longer reactive, we become responsive, choosing when and where to engage and when to remain silent. This shift allows us to focus on what truly matters and cultivate a peaceful state of mind, regardless of the external circumstances. But how do we cultivate this skill of non-reaction in our daily lives? Start by observing your emotions before reacting. When something triggers you, take a moment to breathe and ask yourself, does this deserve my energy? Sometimes the smartest thing we can do is nothing at all. By consciously choosing to walk away from unnecessary conflicts, we preserve our energy for things that truly matter. Over time, this becomes a habit that not only saves us from unnecessary stress, but also helps us develop emotional resilience. If this idea resonates with you, I encourage you to practice non-reaction in your own life. The next time someone tries to provoke you, take a step back, breathe, and choose silence. You'll be amazed at how much power you gain by not playing the game of emotional drama. And remember, peace is not something external. It's something that comes from within. Protect your peace and stop wasting energy on battles that don't serve you. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and comment below. Let us know how you plan to incorporate the art of non-reaction into your life. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insights into how to live a peaceful, centered life. Let's continue this journey together, where we master the art of choosing our battles and embracing the power of silence. 7. Embracing impermanence. In today's world, it's easy to get caught up in constant arguments, disagreements, and emotional reactions. The feeling of needing to defend ourselves, prove our point, or react to something that triggers us can be overwhelming. But what if I told you that the key to maintaining true inner peace lies in choosing when not to react? Buddhism teaches us the profound art of non-reaction, an incredibly powerful tool that can transform your life, allowing you to conserve your energy and prevent unnecessary stress. It's not about suppressing emotions or avoiding conflict altogether, but rather knowing when not to engage and when silence speaks louder than words. Think about it. How often have you been dragged into a pointless argument where, in the end, nothing really changes? Someone insults you, or they challenge your beliefs, and the natural reflex is to fight back, to prove yourself right. But what do you actually gain from it? Most arguments aren't about seeking understanding, they're about validation, ego, and pride. The need to defend ourselves often comes from a deep-seated attachment to being right. But when we step back and refuse to react, we take control of the situation. Instead of allowing others to dictate our emotional state, we choose how to respond, or better yet, we choose not to engage at all. The power of non-reaction is something many of us underestimate. It's easy to believe that reacting, speaking our minds, or defending ourselves is necessary to maintain our dignity. However, in reality, reacting often escalates the situation and leaves us drained, stressed, and emotionally spent. Buddhism teaches us that it's not about avoiding conflict, but rather choosing when and how to respond. When we stop engaging in every emotional battle, we stop feeding the conflict. This is where the shift happens. We stop responding out of reflex or ego and begin responding with wisdom and calmness. An excellent Buddhist analogy for this is the story of the man who was insulted in the street. Instead of reacting with anger or words, he simply smiled and walked away. When asked why he didn't defend himself, he replied, "If someone offers you a gift and you refuse to take it, to whom does the gift still belong?" This teaching shows us that when we react to someone's negativity, we are accepting their emotional gift, often filled with resentment or anger, into our own lives. But when we choose not to react, that gift remains with them, and we retain our peace. Buddhism also highlights the importance of detachment. When we detach from the need to defend ourselves or prove our point, we break free from unnecessary suffering. Most of the time, conflict arises because we are too attached to our opinions, to the need to be understood. But when we let go of that attachment, we can observe the situation without judgment and respond from a place of peace, not ego. Learning the art of non-reaction doesn't mean becoming passive or disengaging from meaningful conversation. It's about recognizing when silence is more powerful than words. There are moments when speaking up is necessary, especially when our boundaries are crossed, or when our voice can make a difference. But there are many times when silence, stillness, and non-engagement are far more powerful. By refusing to react to provocation, we prevent the situation from escalating and save ourselves from unnecessary emotional turmoil. One of the most transformative aspects of non-reaction is that it strengthens our emotional resilience. When we resist the urge to react, we train our minds to remain calm under pressure. It's like exercising a muscle over time. You become stronger, more centered, and more in control of your emotion. The beauty of this practice is that it frees us from the constant need to justify ourselves or defend our ego. It helps us realize that our peace of mind is far more important than winning an argument or proving ourselves right. As you begin practicing non-reaction, ask yourself these simple questions. Does this situation deserve my energy? Will this argument help me grow, or will it simply drain me? By developing mindfulness and observing your emotions before acting on them, you can make the conscious decision to respond wisely, not react impulsively. Over time, this practice will bring you inner peace and clarity, allowing you to navigate life's challenges with calmness and strength. If you found this idea of non-reaction helpful, I encourage you to share it with others. Like, comment, and subscribe to our channel to explore more life-changing wisdom. Together, we can embrace the power of silence, non-reaction, and mindfulness. Remember, you don't need to engage in every battle. True strength lies in knowing when not to fight. Stay peaceful, stay wise, and keep growing with 8. Integrating positive thinking into daily life. In a world filled with distractions and constant external pressures, we often forget the power that lies within us to shape our own reality. How many times have you found yourself caught up in worry about the future or regret about the past, only to feel overwhelmed and drained? Buddhism offers us a profound solution to this cycle of suffering: mindfulness. This ancient practice teaches us to embrace the present moment and cultivate awareness in all that we do. By doing so, we can reclaim our peace and find balance, even in the most chaotic of situations. Mindfulness is more than just a practice, it's a way of life. It allows us to step outside the rush of thoughts and emotions that often control us and reconnect with the present. This practice isn't about suppressing negative thoughts or pretending that life is perfect. Instead, it's about observing our thoughts without attachment, understanding that they are like clouds passing through a vast sky. This realization helps us break free from the habit of identifying with every thought that arises, especially those that bring fear, anxiety, or anger. Instead of being swept away by these emotions, we can simply watch them come and go, letting them pass without giving them the power to affect our peace. But mindfulness goes beyond just observing thought. It helps us develop compassion and gratitude, two key elements of Buddhist wisdom that transform our mindset and relationships. Compassion is not about carrying the weight of others' burdens, but about recognizing their suffering with a kind heart. Through practices like loving kindness meditation, we learn to extend goodwill to ourselves and others, even those who challenge or hurt us. Compassion helps us let go of resentment and judgment, creating space for positive energy to flow in our lives. Gratitude is another transformative practice that helps us shift from negativity to positivity. Instead of focusing on what we lack or what has gone wrong, mindfulness allows us to appreciate what we already have. When we consciously cultivate gratitude, we train our minds to seek out the good in every situation, no matter how small. This simple shift in perspective can bring profound peace, as it helps us appreciate the present moment rather than constantly chasing after an idealized future or clinging to the past. But mindfulness isn't just about mental peace. It also helps us navigate the challenges life throws our way with resilience and clarity. By embracing mindfulness, we learn to face obstacles without fear, knowing that each challenge is an opportunity for growth. Whether we're dealing with a difficult situation at work, in our relationships, or within ourselves, mindfulness helps us approach it with a balanced and calm mind, instead of reacting impulsively or out of stress. The teachings of Buddhism remind us that nothing in life is permanent, everything changes. This understanding of impermanence helps us embrace life with more openness and flexibility. We can learn to accept the ups and downs of life, knowing that both joy and suffering are temporary. This realization allows us to let go of attachments and find peace in the midst of uncertainty. The more we practice mindfulness and embrace the present moment, the less we are affected by the fleeting nature of external circumstance. If you found this perspective helpful, I encourage you to take this practice into your daily life. Mindfulness is a tool that anyone can use to bring more peace, joy, and wisdom into their life. Like, comment, and subscribe to our channel to dive deeper into how you can integrate these teachings into your routine. Share this with others who might benefit from learning how to live with more mindfulness, compassion, and gratitude. Together, let's continue this journey toward a more peaceful and fulfilled life. One of the most profound lessons we can learn from Buddhism is the power of mindfulness and compassion. In our fast-paced lives, we often get caught up in negative thinking, stress, and reactive emotion. Buddhism teaches us to embrace the present moment, to observe our thoughts without judgment, and to respond with kindness rather than reacting impulsively. By cultivating mindfulness, we not only reduce stress, but also foster positive emotions like gratitude and compassion. These practices allow us to face life's challenges with clarity and resilience. When we let go of attachment to outcomes and embrace impermanence, we find peace in the midst of uncertainty. Remember, true happiness doesn't come from external circumstances, but from how we respond to life. If this resonates with you, take a moment to reflect on how mindfulness can transform your daily life. Like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more insights on living a more peaceful and fulfilling life.